Pre-show.
Live.
Hey there.
Pre-show bananas?
Yeah, pre-show bananas. That's pretty much how I explain it, right?
Is a banana a fruit?
I think
Again,
there was some debate that it wasn't. Is banana
he's
uh,
got to Google it.
well,
Is a banana a
oh,
fruit?
well,
I'm
technically
pretty
it's
sure it
both a
is.
berry. Yeah, it's both a berry and a fruit.
It's a berry?
I think
Okay,
it's because of the way the
flower and the plant and yeah, okay.
a
So
banana flower contains one ovary which grows into single banana, but a banana also has somewhat soft skin. To, I'm not sure. I thought that had to do with the seeds or something, but
welcome to Technorama banana.
yeah, since a banana develops from the ovary, it is a fruit, and since it develops without fertilization, it is a parenthetic carpet. Parenthetic carpet. Parenthetic
Don't ask
carpet.
Craig to pronounce big words.
That parenthetic.
Have you ever seen a banana tree?
Yeah, I've seen one. Yeah.
It's kind of cool because they've got that big long stem and there's this big purple flower on the end, but the bananas grow like up. You'd expect them to grow down. They grow
Oh
up.
yeah, it does look a little weird. Yeah.
They look upside down.
Yeah.
All right. Somebody's out there watching. Good for them. Let's get
Yeah.
started with the podcast. Let's see. Audio levels. Mine's a little low again. I got to bring that up. Oh, yeah. Yikes. What happened here? I'm on mic 2.
This
Where's
show was
my,
bananas.
where's my gain? Config preamp. Gate. There. That was weird. There's no
Hmm.
gain.
Can
Little
you hear me
louder,
okay?
little louder. Okay. That
Do I hear right?
makes
That sound
more
all
sense.
right?
Talk some more.
Hello, how are you doing?
I'm gonna
I
bring
want to
yours
make sure
up
I'm
as
on the
well.
right microphone. It looks like I am.
I'm gonna bring
Blah
yours
blah
up.
blah 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 blah. Is that
What
okay?
Hold on.
Yes, no, maybe so.
That's weird.
What's that?
It's like the meters went up and stayed there, even when you weren't talking.
I command that kind of
Yeah,
attention. That's why.
right. Driving my
Does it
mixer
sound okay
crazy.
to you?
Yeah, no, I'm just overdriving the recorder a little bit. Hold on. Level. Hi, Craig. How are you?
I'm doing well. How about you?
Leave it right there. Trimming the pots, as they call it in the business.
Wow, look at you spending all our budget on words.
Now that pot is legal.
Is it? At some place in your area, it is.
For medicinal purposes.
Why are you wearing a green shirt?
No, it's the season of Pentecost.
Oh, okay.
It's a liturgical color. And it's also
I
my
got
old Service Now color. So I get to repurpose my old
oh,
company branding for church.
wait, your old company branding?
The 2018 to 2022 colors. The light green, dark green, pastel kind of stuff.
Oh, your old
Yeah. This
colors, not old
this
company.
like forest green isn't on the palette anymore.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what
Well, I thought
the
you were
old
already
brand. The
I thought
old
you were referring
company
to our
brand.
company as your old company already.
Soon. 26 days.
All right.
15 of which are working.
Mm.
Yeah, I got 15 days to do whatever I need to do. It's basically this coming week, the week after, and then it's a hit or miss. I think I have about 3 whole days after that.
You sound like you're a senior in school and you're planning out the last week and you're like, "Oh, well, I got this and this and I only have 3 more days of school,
I do
over
have
the
some
next."
graduation parties left.
Yeah, you go to Fort Lauderdale for your spring break and
Go to San
summer break.
Diego. Woo!
Yeah.
Anybody's in there? Mike Robinson, bananas are an alien pyramid scheme.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
That didn't come up in my Google searches, but now you've tainted the AI. Let's
Yeah,
do that for fun.
tainted the AI.
You put stuff into the large language model and, well, we already discussed this. Craig can't handle large language.
Hey, hey, come on now.
We'll get to that in the history. What do you say we go now?
Yeah.
All right, let me get to the recorder. Recorder 1, recorder 2, and here we go. Technorama episode 750, A Beginner's Guide to Bending the Space-Time Continuum. Okay, take the pre-show banner down now.
I am. I'm
Welcome
working
to
on.
Technorama. This is the show that takes a lighthearted look at tech, science, sci-fi, and all things geek. And after 750 shows, we've almost got it. I swear we're going to get there by 1,000. And this is
Yeah.
your first time listening to the show. Thank you for joining us. If you're a returning guest, welcome back. We appreciate you giving us your time. My name is Chuck Tomasi from sunny Phoenix, Arizona. And right over there is Craig Stepp. How are you, Craig?
I'm doing well, Chuck. How you doing?
It's getting dark. You're talking to the wrong side again.
No, I looked at you. No, I'm looking the wrong side.
Every time. You got to watch the video if you want to have some fun with this.
I
People.
just looked at you. I said, "Hey."
No,
Right.
you would turn to your right.
Am I not pointing to you right now?
No, you are looking at a reverse camera, apparently.
Oh,
Raise your right hand. Yeah. Now point your right hand to your right.
this way?
That way, yes.
Why is it mirrored on my side?
I
then?
don't know. Check your camera settings. If there's one thing that drives me nuts, it's mirrored camera
I know.
settings.
Apparently so.
It drives me bonkers. But anyway, let's move on with
Wait.
what?
I was going to talk about my experience with the
Oh, you
meteor
want to do
so
that
far.
now? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Perseid meteor showers. What have you done? Because it's like Perseid time.
It is. It's that time of year, and they're starting to. Apparently, they're starting to peak, but apparently, I peaked a little too early. Happens to all guys every once in a while. But August 11th, as we were recording this, I got up early this morning. Actually, I went to bed late and looked outside. I didn't really see anything, and then I got up about 1:30 and went outside, and I saw two meteors. I thought, oh, maybe I'm starting to see something. Stood there for another 5 minutes, nothing. I was like, okay, forget it. I'm going to bed. I went back to bed. I got back up about 5-ish, 5:30,
Yeah.
and it's still dark. And I went outside. I didn't see anything. Maybe a satellite, but that was about it. I mentioned this all on my daily podcast, and yeah, I didn't really see anything. But you said it should be happening tonight.
Yes, between the 11th and the 12th.
Okay. All right. I hope you're not hazing me and making me getting up in the middle of the night for no reason
So if you're listening in Australia, run outside right now.
right now. Yeah. So I'll go out and check it out again. But I'd actually talked about this before too. A couple of years ago, I saw a ton of them, and it was ridiculous. It was so much fun to watch. I just lay down in the street out here, where there's no
Yeah.
traffic. It's safe. It's safe. There's no traffic. But I lay down.
You have clouds moving through tonight?
It may be. Last night it was kind of clear, but I don't know. It was supposed to be overcast a little bit, so maybe a problem.
Quite the meteorologist, Craig. What's the forecast? He looks over his shoulder.
Yeah. Well, I can see the sky right there.
It's like when I used to grow up in the Upper Peninsula in the middle of winter, they'd say, "What's the forecast?" And the weatherman would go outside and both feet were in the snow. He says, 2 feet of snow.
2 feet of stuff. Yeah. Well, it did rain a little bit, and I think it is a little overcast, lightly, but we'll see. I'll check it before I go to bed.
We'll be listening to your Dog Days podcast for an update tomorrow.
Yeah, and listener, if you, I know you've heard us talk about the Dog Days, but it's going on right now. So if you want to listen to a bunch of podcasts,
Yahoos.
a bunch of yahoos talking about everything, go to dogdaysofpodcasting.com.
Some of it's actually educational.
It is, and there's some really good stuff. There's some really good stuff in there. So, so educational, or maybe something you want to learn. Just kidding.
If you learn something, it's not our fault.
Yeah. But
That's our t-shirt slogan right there. We just came up with this year's t-shirt slogan.
If you learn something, it's not our fault. Don't blame us. Yeah. But go check it out, because there's a lot of fun podcasters, and we got a few more in there this year. And one of them is talking about, is it Australian rules football or soccer?
Yes.
And
rugby.
I'm like,
rugby.
Huh? Rugby. Okay. Well, that's what I thought. And so I'm listening to it. I'm like, I like what they're saying, but I don't understand all of it, but it's kind of fun to listen to.
All right. Let's do the feedback. We asked a question last week.
one out. Those letters, I love those letters. Let's find out what you got to say.
Oh boy.
Mailman, mail today.
All right, our question of the week last time was, what is the funniest
Hey.
inconvenient curse put on someone?
First off, let me
Yes.
say something. I
Thanks,
made a
Kyle.
mistake. I made a mistake, and I did not cross off the question of the week, and I think we asked it for a couple weeks in a row.
And we were gone for a couple of weeks, so it's more of a question of the month at this point.
So I changed it up. So if you listen to the last episode, that question was already used.
Yes.
So I put out a new one yesterday.
Yay!
So thanks to Kyle Nishioka, Mad Marv. He sent this one in, so I thought I'd use it.
Funniest inconvenient curse put on someone. Well, I expect a good answer from Kyle. Let's see what happens. Weber Baker says, every pen you touch will immediately run out of ink or leak in your shirt pocket. That would be funny.
Hey, you got red on you.
That's why I spend my time on Reddit.
Hey, yeah.
Hey.
Look at here. We got a guy named Mark Kilfoyle commented a lot. So
oh my gosh.
yeah.
So did Gary.
Yeah. May you be cursed to never realize that you have something stuck between your teeth.
And he says, may the printer always foul up just after you've printed something, making you the documents of death deliverer.
Right. May you always hit the like button on something you were just trying to scroll the hell away from quickly.
You always take 3 tries to plug in a USB cable. Too relatable? It's the ones that you get upside down, right?
Right. And last but not least, may every TV show you start gets canceled, but before the season is completed.
Oh, there's plenty more from him. May every
Oh,
doorknob you
seriously.
touch give a jolt of static.
Yeah. Is there more?
I think that's it from him. We'll
okay.
see
That
if-
was the last one. Sorry.
All right, Gary's got a few.
Yeah.
There's always the may you live in interesting times curse.
That's.
Be careful what you wish for.
I feel like we've been in a feedback loop on that one.
May you never find the X to stop the overlay video.
Right. Oh my gosh. And Gary also says, may your new required password always be an old and hence invalid choice.
Hey, Kyle does contribute a bit here. May your children behave just like you.
Oh boy. Yeah.
I should be so lucky.
Yeah. Kyle
May
also
the
said,
toilet paper run out when you really need it.
right.
Is there ever a convenient time for the toilet paper to run out?
No. And Steve London says, may your shoelaces always fall and snap when needed the most, and you are allergic to Velcro. Oh,
May you have an answer to CAPTCHA every time you log into anything, says Stephen Weshy. We got a few from Mike Robinson. Get us started.
all right. So he says, may your long-haired cats become romantically enamored by your Sunday/go-to meeting clothes. Right? Yeah.
White long-haired cats would be best.
Mm.
Oh, I'm taking care of Lisa's cats while she's gone.
Yep.
And I spent maybe 30 seconds on the couch. First, I knew the couch was covered with cat hair, so I put a blanket over it. And I sat on that blanket, and the white long-haired cat comes up and snuggles, and I'm wearing a black t-shirt, and it is just covered in seconds. I looked like I was wearing a white sweater when I left.
Yeah. I have to keep a thing, what do you call it? A brush to clean
Yep.
the shirt off. Yeah.
All right. Mike also says, may you find a gift from your cat as you start to don your slippers. Ooh.
I thought it said gift card for a second. I was like, yes. Oh, gift from your cat. He also says, may your error notifications tone be replaced with a soundbite. We're on a mission from God from the Blues Brothers.
We're on a mission from God.
Yeah.
May your taking of seasonal family portrait reveal intermittent undergarment usage. Oh my.
And he also adds, may your favorite jam list become randomized and reassigned single file numbers.
Single
File
number
names.
file names.
Single number file name. Wow. Wow.
Jamless. Sounds like that's happened to somebody before.
I
My
know.
playlist is nothing but numbers now.
Oddly specific.
Lisa Soares says, may the fleas of 1,000 camels infest your crotch.
Oh, you know what? It's funny she says that because I had a friend when I was probably 11 or so,
Yes.
and his family had lived in Saudi Arabia for a while, and they lived in Texas. His dad was a pilot, and that's why they were there. And so he was here in Texas, and he had this T-shirt that says, "May the fleas of 1,000 camels infect your tent."
Oh, we
Oh,
did. I think we missed one from Weber Baker. Oh no,
oh,
that's
did we? Okay,
yeah, no, that's every pen you touch will immediately run out of ink.
yes,
Okay, I thought I clicked one too many things in here.
that's some
I
pretty good
shared
ones.
it, but didn't get anything.
Yeah,
Did you?
I didn't get anything either, so
Okay, well,
it's all right.
we got some dandies on our Technorama page. We will have another question of the week for you at the end. That was fun. Thanks, Kyle.
Another letter from our listener, Dave.
Which means we roll right into the history.
Right, yay!
On this day in history for August 14th, 2024, it's the 227th day of the year in the Gregorian calendar. There are 139 days remaining in the year. It was on this date in 1592 that the first sighting of the Falkland Islands, say that nicely,
Yes,
Falkland Islands was made by John Davis.
and it was on August 14th, 1885. Japan's first patent was issued to the inventor of the rust-proof paint.
We don't have the person's name, but we'll take it that it was hard to pronounce. It was also 131 years ago today that France became the first country to introduce motor vehicle registration. 131 years ago.
Wow.
Prior to 1900, they were having motor vehicle registration.
It was just to keep track of the one or two people that had one.
I got number one.
Yeah. Also on August 14th, 1901, the first acclaimed power flight by Gustav Whitehead is in his number 21.
He first claimed power flight in 1901, which is a few years ahead of the Wright brothers. Interesting.
What did I say?
No, that was right.
Okay. Yeah, I think there was some discourse between them and the
Yep.
Wright brothers who was first.
Also today in 1920, the 1920 Summer Olympics, which is a good way to name them. That makes sense. You wouldn't want to call your 1920 Summer Olympics, when it was still 1919.
Hey, episode 3.
Having started 4 months earlier, yikes, they used to run them along. It
Wow.
officially opened in Antwerp, Belgium, with the newly adopted Olympic flag and the Olympic oath being raised and taken at the opening ceremony for the first time in Olympic history. Why did they wait 4 months to have the opening ceremony?
And who took it?
Yeah, put it back.
Put it back. On August 14th, 1935, Franklin D. Roosevelt signed the Social Security Act, creating the government pension system for the retired.
Hey, I hope it's still there in a month.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
76 years ago today, there was a beaver drop.
WKRP, unavailable for comment.
This was an Idaho Department of Fish and Game program to relocate beavers from northwestern Idaho to the Chamberlain Basin in central Idaho. The program involved, yes, you got it, parachuting beavers into the Chamberlain Basin. At least
Wow.
they got parachutes. It wasn't a Les Nessman turkeys can fly thing.
That's what I was thinking.
Happy birthday goes out in the state to an Italian mathematician and physicist, Giambattista Benedetti, born on this date in 1530.
And born August 14th, 1777, Danish physicist and chemist Hans Christian Oerst.
How do you pronounce the O with the slash through it? I always
Oerst?
wondered.
Yeah, it's
Or
kinda,
Oersted.
I don't know. Yeah.
Doc Holliday, the American dentist and gambler, was born on the same date in 1851. He was at the OK Corral, but it was just okay. It wasn't the Great Corral.
Yeah, it wasn't the Great Corral. Italian mathematician and academic Guido Castelnuovo was born 159 years ago today.
Charles Jean de la Valle Poussin, the Belgian mathematician and academic, was born 158 years ago today. And I can hear Yorga going, that wasn't even close.
No, it wasn't even close. Canadian-American physicist and academic author Jeffrey Dempster was born 138 years ago today. Sorry for the dog barking in the background.
Did he invent the dumpster? Was it
Actually,
dumpster?
I read it as dumpster to begin with.
Turkish astronomer and mathematician Nuzet Cadogan, born on this date in 1910.
And Frank Oppenheimer, The American physicist and academic was born 112 years ago today.
Oppenheimer. Why does that name? That's right. It's J. Roberts' little brother, Frankie.
Yeah.
Born August 14th, 1914. Oh, 8/14/14. American physicist, chemist, and academic Hermann Branson.
Swiss chemist and academic, Nobel Prize laureate Richard R. Ernst was born on this date in 1933.
Also turning 79 today, American actor, comedian, musician, producer, and screenwriter, Steve Martin.
And American cartoonist, one of my favorites, Gary Larson, was born on this date in 1950.
American chemist and astronaut Tracy Caldwell Dyson, got it, is 55 today. Listener birthdays this week involved. They were involved.
Drive by.
August 17th, Clive Jevons and Kevin, Susie the Geek's son and geek in training. He's got to be like 26. Is he still in training?
I think he's got his certificate by now.
He's out of Padawan school.
Yeah.
On the 19th, we have two birthdays, Brian Latecki and Matt Ryder. And the 20th is Jedi Kaz. Speaking of Padawans, Jedi Kaz is on the 20th. If it's your birthday this week, we wish you all the best. If you want to be on the birthday calendar, Craig's going to put up a banner. It somehow got dark while we were doing that segment.
Out here? Yeah.
Craig is in the dark once again. Well, let's move on then. If it's your birthday, you go over to chuckchat.com/birthday, put your name on the calendar, and we'll give you a shout out at the appropriate time of year. Love to hear from you. Put it on there. Just chuckchat.com/birthday. That's the way it was on this day in history for August 14th, 2024. I hear the ending coming. There it is. Just march around the room. Put on your earbuds and march around the room.
Yeah. All right. I'll be back in a second.
Okay. Hacks and strange stories. Yes.
I actually look like
I gotta find. I didn't even check if that thing was looping. All right, I'm making a note here because it did that last week, didn't it?
Mm.
We had to move all this stuff to a new computer, and apparently the configuration is a little different. Looping sound bites. There.
I was just making a note. My video looks like Zombie from
Mecca Lecca Hi Mecca Heiny Ho.
Yeah.
I think we're on.
I look like I'm in the box. Look at there. Hi, Pee Wee. How are you?
What's the magic word, Zombie? Okay. The magic word is Hobbit.
Hobbit.
So, remember?
Whoa. You're skipping over the news.
That was the news? What did I miss? How did I get that? Oh, wow. Okay, let's do a random news.
Good news, crybabies.
Okay, the first rocks ever recovered from the Earth's mantle. So,
remember, we were talking about this a little bit last week.
Well, and I watched a couple of specials recently on the Russians were digging the Big Dig. They went down like 4,000 meters or so.
Yeah.
And they didn't get when you drill on land, you have to go through a continent before you get to the mantle. If you drill out at sea, you only have to go through a little bit of crust. So they went out and did some drilling near the mid-oceanic ridge. They didn't say specifically because that kind of puts it anywhere from the North Pole to the South Pole.
Right. Yeah.
Somewhere in between there, roughly. You can figure it out. And they brought back, what was it, 4,000 feet? It was
4,160 feet.
Or 1,268 meters. That's just short of a mile of rock, of core samples that they brought up. But it's not the core, it's from the mantle. And they're learning all kinds of things about this. They said, well, there's actually more magnesium in here, which suggests that it was hotter or colder or started here and did that. So this is the first time ever that they've brought back rock from the mantle. What I want to know is if it's so hot down there, how come their drill didn't melt?
I know. What did they use?
I don't know.
Amazing.
Something that has a higher melting point than rock, apparently, which could be done, but it's going to have to be sustained. Well, interesting.
It was done. That was just it. It was done.
So the quotes I got in here were, when we recovered the rocks last year, because they discovered all this stuff in 2023. They brought it back up. It was a major achievement in the history of earth sciences. But more than that, its value is in what the cores of metal rocks could tell us about the makeup and evolution of our planet. Johan Lissenberg, study co-author and geologist at Cardiff University in Wales, said in a statement, our study begins to look at the composition of the mantle by documenting the mineralogy of the recovered rocks as well as their chemical makeup. According to Lissenberg, the results were quite different than they expected. There was less of the mineral pyroxene and higher concentrations of magnesium in the rock. Both of these results from a higher amount of melting than the team would have predicted. This melting occurred as the mantle rose up from the deep parts of the earth towards the surface. The results from further analysis of this process could have implications for understanding how magma is formed and leads to volcanism. So, cool stuff. This is a first.
It is really cool.
How come you don't hear about this elsewhere? Where did you find that?
I did my research.
Popsci.com. We need more news like this.
I'm on the distribution list for this research.
Enough about this crazy election thing.
Get
over it. Let's go back to hardcore science that'll involve everybody.
See, stories like this rocks.
I knew you were going to say that. We have been working together too long.
It is pretty cool, though. I do wonder how they actually dig in and get that, or drill and pull that out.
Let's see a documentary on how that went. It'll probably come out on Netflix in a year.
Yeah. The most exciting documentary ever. Let's drill for some rocks from the mantle.
All right. From the Daily Mail.
Broken drill. Let's reset.
We hit a rock. We got to go around. From the Daily Mail, we find out that we now have an AI-powered robot dentist. Going to the dentist wasn't terrifying enough.
Hey, pass.
I'm going to say no. I'm going to say, yeah, I'll take it.
Really?
The reason is it can do the work of what used to take 2 hours. So you'd go to the dentist for an hour and they'd make a form and they'd drill your tooth and they put on a temporary crown and then usually you come back. Now they have milling machines in the office where they cut down the time tremendously. In fact, I'm wearing one that was carved out in the office and they fitted it in the same day. I didn't have to go home with a temporary, come back a week later while they went out to some lab. They can do that in-house on many dentists. Well, this one actually does it in your mouth. So they take this 3D camera and they make a model of the inside of your mouth. And then the AI robot does the drilling and the wiring and the carving while a milling machine goes and makes your crown. Now, they already know what size everything needs to be and how it's going to fit down to 100 microns, which is about the thickness of a human hair.
Right.
So you can get this all done in 15 minutes. Now, here's the big reason they're thinking about doing this is this is from the Daily Mail, so it's over in the UK. They said currently there are 2,365 patients per dentist. Now, I did a little quick math, and I estimate about 225 working days if you go Monday through Friday, 52 weeks a year, maybe take a little vacation here or there. That's seeing about 19 patients a day just for people who want a cleaning. Now, granted, the hygienist is often doing the cleaning, but 19 patients a day that a doctor would have to keep track of. And if one of them wants a crown and it's taking them 2 hours to do a crown and you can reduce that to 15 minutes, you can reduce the backlog.
Yeah, that is
and hopefully the expense as well. They didn't talk much about what this meant to the expense. So there's a positive thing in here, very accurate, faster than humans can do, and cuts down on the patient's wear and tear, discomfort, and whatnot. Yes. Would there be a little apprehension about a robot going in your mouth? Maybe at first, but hey, that's what people said about robot-driven cars, and yet I see Waymos all around.
Right. Well, I start to think as soon as the AI robot starts to do its work, that's when it decides to attack humanity. And my mouth is the first place. I don't want that.
The Bender suicide booth in your mouth.
Yeah. But no, that is honestly, joking aside, that is pretty amazing. Cut it down to 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm. I'd go.
It's almost unbelievable.
it's I think it looks pretty cool. I mean, if you think about the machine is already doing like the CNC milling of the new crown, the tooth going, and the two can be going at the same time
Yeah.
because you already when they fitted mine, when they did mine, oh gosh, what was that? About 8 years ago, they did a little like 3D model. They put the camera in there, and went na 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 na, na, and now the machine knows how to shape the new tooth.
Wait, is that what technically what they did? No, 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 no.
Yeah, na 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 na.
I don't know if I want my dentist singing that, but yeah, there you go.
Only a matter of
You'll,
time.
you'll get to hear how 9000 asks, "Is this safe? Is it safe?"
Sorry, Dave, I can't do that.
Yeah,
All right, that's our news. Now can we go to the Hacks of Strange Stories?
fine.
Fossils everywhere. Well, about 20 years ago, we found on the island of Florencis. What was the name of the island?
I had Florentius.
No, they found a new subspecies of
Oh,
human called
I'm sorry. Homo
Homo
Florentius is the
floresiensis. Yes,
Flores.
Flores. Yes,
It's an
which is
Indian.
Spanish for flowers.
It's an Indonesian island.
But they found a rather short human. At first, they thought this was a child, and they said, "Wait a minute, the teeth and everything else suggests this is an adult." Well, now they found one even shorter, like 2.4 inches shorter than the previous one. Dogs, be quiet.
It's not my dogs, but it's
Oh, okay.
somebody nearby.
Craig's outside. It's
Yeah,
all
I
fine.
am so. Yeah.
So they found a shorter one, and they're what did you get out of this article, Craig?
What did I get out of this article?
Yeah.
That they were trying to figure out where the hobbits came from.
They said about 60,000 years ago,
Yeah.
they lived on this island, and because it was a smaller space, we got smaller humans. Now, they're also dealing with, I loved this part, they're also dealing with Komodo dragons that are on there. Now, as the humans got smaller, that means the dragons are getting bigger in comparison.
Right.
I'm not sure I really want to be on that island as the animals, the predators get bigger.
Oh, yeah. No, that's a problem for the food chain.
But they said the 3 foot tall or 100 centimeter tall people, where they lived roughly 700,000 years ago. So pretty cool stuff. We found some more. All right. That takes care of Hacks of Strange Stories. Shout out to the chat room. We've got Mike hanging out with us tonight. Thank you,
That's
Mike.
right. Yep.
I didn't see anybody else. There were some people popping in and out, but
There's
they
StreamYard.
didn't leave comments. The StreamYard's always on there, dude.
Yeah. I know.
We pay. We shouldn't have to worry about that comment anymore. They should take
There you
that
go.
away.
Proof that Bilbo Baggins really lived.
That's right. He made it to Mount Doom, and then he threw himself in.
Not quite how the story went, but okay.
If you're around, if you want to hang out with us on the side of Mount Doom, we can do that Sunday nights at 8:30 p.m. Eastern time on Facebook and YouTube. Just join our page, subscribe, you know what to do, and you'll get notifications. Have some fun. Join us for the live chat. You can make snarky comments about Bilbo like Mike did.
That's right.
All right. Remember when? I remember when. We're old enough to remember almost everything.
Remember.
Well, we're not old enough to remember the inhabitants at Göbekli Tepe. Okay, that's an archaeological site over in Turkey. I have watched several documentaries on this place. Very cool. Some circular or almost full circular kind of temple-like structures found in a hillside. They were buried. This farmer was plowing his field. He went, "Hey, I hit some rocks." And then they dug down and went, "Oh, these are actual like temples / settlements
Right.
from approximately 12,000 years ago. And they're proving to be more advanced than we expected, because most people would say modern civilization formed about 5,000 years ago in the Tigris-Euphrates area, and the Egyptians helped do this and blah, blah, blah. And now they're finding out from Göbekli Tepe, which is thousands of years older, that these people may have had a good understanding of the stars, a calendar,
Yeah.
like to the tune of knowing it was 365 days long. They would follow the lunar cycle and went, we're a few days short. So they'd add on 11 days to make the seasons line up with the solar calendar. And this is pretty darn advanced stuff for way back when. Kind of blows your
Well,
mind.
and they also said that it could memorialize a comet strike about
Yes.
10,000 years ago.
So about 12,000 years ago, there was a comet strike that cooled the atmosphere, period known as the Younger Dryas. I believe it was about 1,500 years long.
Yeah.
That really changed the whole shape of mankind and how we settled civilizations and agriculture, and lots of stuff was happening. They called it the Little Ice Age after the Big Ice Age. So a lot of interesting stuff in this. If you want to find out more, there are lots of documentaries about ancient civilizations older than the the current thinking of the Egyptians, the Mayans, whatever. A lot of research into history is rewriting the books, and
Oh,
I
yeah.
think it's kind of fascinating because what we grew up with is not what we're discovering. I was also watching a special a while back about the footprints in the White Sands Desert area, I believe it was. There are footprints that are right alongside the giant sloths, which were thought to have died out long before man got here,
Oh,
and
yeah, that's right.
the great North American, what was it? The giant bears and the megafauna that used to be around here. And they were trying to figure out, did the presence of humans cause that, or was
Hmm.
it something else?
Wow.
But they figured these footprints, they dug down into the layers, and when they found the footprints, they also found some plant material, some seeds that had blown around and whatnot. And they
Right.
did some carbon dating on that, and they came up with some ridiculously old number, like 27,000 years. They went, these footprints? No, people weren't supposed to be in North America that long. It was still the Ice Age. How did they get here? So lots of cool stuff that's causing us to rethink
Well,
where people were and what they were doing at what point in time.
not only that, but we were talking about the rocks, the core samples they pulled up. That's going to change some things, I'm sure.
Yeah,
A lot of stuff.
humans were not in the mantle of the earth at that time. They won't find footprints that far down.
Not until what 1963, Journey to the Center of the Earth or whatever whenever that came out.
And there's a little spaceship floating around in your bloodstream right now too.
Yeah.
But that's from COVID vaccinations. Oh, sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we'll go on.
Oh,
Let's
1959. That's when that movie came out. Never mind.
let's go on to the patrons. Yes.
All right.
We appreciate our patrons. These are the people that donate as little as $1 a show. They get a bonus episode. They get postcards that are coming out when we get to Dragon Con. Some of them get t-shirts based on their donation level. They went over to patreon.com/Technorama Podcast that Craig's going to put on the bottom of the screen right now.
I'm trying to get to it. Yes, I am. Promise.
People like Alexis Duran, Amber Elstad, Amy Bowen, Abner Braverman, Ben Vaughn, Brian Brown, Chris Martinez, Chris MC. I just addressed all these postcards. Dandy Man Coyer, Dean Jensen, Denise Inglis, Gary Lindros, John Clifford, John Noble, Yorga Rowan, Crazy Joe, Kyle Nishioka, Leon, Mark Kilfoyle, Brad Miller, Mike Wills, Saturday Morning Media, Stephen Weshy, Steve Cody, Steve Therian, Steve Webb, Steve London, and Tim Cook. If anybody has had a change of address in the last 12 months, please send us your new address.
Now's the time to update it.
Right. If you haven't seen a postcard or possibly a t-shirt in our last round of Patreon perks, send us a note. We want to make sure we're sending it to the right place. What we have is either what you typed when you originally joined as a patron or what we typed when we asked you for it. But it's been a while, and we like to keep that information up to date. I thought I heard one of you have moved. I reached out. Turns out that it was the same address. So maybe it happened 2 or 3 years ago, and I just
They moved. They put everything in the yard and put it back in the house. That's what. That's what.
That's it. They moved from the living room to the kitchen. That doesn't count.
Well, my address changed.
Your address changed. You don't get a postcard.
Hey, by the way, you know what? For a while, this house was uninhabited for about 12 years.
Yes.
You know, the Postal Service actually will remove old addresses.
Really? So,
Yeah.
Number 48 might not exist. When you move in, what do you get?
Well, nothing. Actually, about 2 weeks before we moved in here, we realized that Kim got in touch with my wife got in touch with the post office, and they were like, "Oh, that doesn't exist," because we were trying to change our address on some websites, like
Doesn't exist.
yeah, like Amazon.com. It was like this is an invalid
I mean,
address.
what do you get for a lot number? Something has to signify this is where this place is.
No, seriously, I don't know. No, she had to tell them, and they were like, "Okay, we'll get this straightened out." And it took us forever to finally. It took us about a month to get it straightened out.
Where do I live now?
I know. Well, I was like, "Well, this is a problem if I'm going to be expecting mail like bills and stuff." Well, a lot of bills nowadays are electronic, so that's not maybe
Mike
not.
says they were searching for their Airbnb.
Yeah, but yeah, it took a while to get it straightened out. The local postmaster was like, "Yeah, they truncate them," and he said, "I'll see what I can do." And
I
she
wonder
called
if that's a
Washington.
state thing or
No, Kim called Washington. She talked to the USPS in Washington.
I'd like to speak to the postmaster general, please. I need
Yeah,
a number for my house.
they say my address is wrong. But yeah, websites like Amazon and even
Wow.
Walmart, the pharmacy, stuff like that, it said invalid address because they pull an address in, from the USPS and it wasn't valid and it wasn't on the list. So yeah, that was the weirdest thing. I didn't know they would do that.
I didn't either. I've never heard of that before.
Hmm.
Well, we learn something new every day.
Yeah.
I'm done. See ya.
Yeah. All right. I've hit my quota for today for
All
learning.
right, let's go to passing of the remote. Here you go.
Wait a minute.
It's the remote
Oh.
from my air conditioner. Don't mess with it.
Yeah. Freeze you out.
Woo, get a little warm in here. All right, I got a couple. I started watching Foundation on Apple TV. I'm about halfway through season 7 of 10
Okay.
on Apple TV Plus. So I had heard good things. This is a
Wait.
story based
Wait.
on Isaac
You
Asimov.
said season 7 of 10?
No, episode
Episode.
7 of 10 of
Okay.
season 1.
Gotcha. Okay.
So there is a season 2. Season 1 was like 2021. Season 2 was 2023. And I believe there's another season coming out.
Yes.
2025, I want to say. Can't confirm that at the moment. Probably the most notable actor in here is Lee Pace. We know him from various Marvel movies, and if you ever watched *Halt and Catch Fire*, he's been around. He's got a lot of credits to his name. Something distracting you?
Yeah, actually, somebody pulled in my driveway.
Do you need to go? Do you need to invite him on the show? Do they have an invitation?
I don't. Well, they can come on the show, but I don't know who they are.
All right. Well, stay tuned, listener. So I'm finding it very interesting. Good story, good world building. A little slow in spots, kind of confusing in spots, but I'm up for a good mental challenge when it comes to sci-fi. So I'm enjoying it. Foundation is doing very well in my book. I was going to wait until Donna got back, but after watching about 2 or 3 episodes, I went, yeah, she can watch. Maybe she already has. I don't know.
Right. Yeah.
I also started watching. Thought I'll check out Ted Lasso as well. I've heard very good things
Yes.
about it. And I got about 10 minutes into the first episode and I stopped and I went, no, Donna and I have to watch this together. It's got some laughable moments in it. I wasn't sure what to expect because nobody ever talked about it. I didn't know if it was funny, drama, serious, what. So this is looking forward to watching that with her. And the other one I started was season 3 of The Umbrella Academy on Netflix. I'd watched season 1. I went back and watched the last episode of season 2 just to get my head around where they were and what they did. I remember the very, very ending, but I didn't remember what led up to that. So I got into that.
Right.
Season 3 takes place starts a few years after that. So if you watched the end of if you watch season 1 and season 2, you'll know that season 2 kind of ended with this reset of the universe. They walk off and they're going to go live normal lives. Well, they start showing you their normal lives and what's happened to it. But there's a situation that demands their attention. So all the regulars are back. The guy who plays Luther looks much different. And it's not just because he's not the gorilla hairy guy anymore. He facially, he looks different. I thought it was a different actor at first. And they went, nope. Okay. He's just done something to either tone up or whatever it is. But interesting. I like that show. I like the story it tells, and I've watched 3 or 4 episodes. I like where it's going. like where it's going. So season 3 of the Umbrella Academy on Netflix.
All
You been
right.
watching anything?
This week it feels like I haven't watched anything. I need to catch up on the Umbrella Academy. That's one I want to see.
Mhm.
So yeah, but I haven't been able to see it yet.
Okay.
I haven't been able to catch up on it yet. But the new season that come out, it's a good reminder to do that.
I also put a few things in the Geek Library from some of the channels that I recommended last week. Rob Words went on a episode that says words we've ruined, and they call them skunked. Like they're ruined because people use them. I won't say incorrectly, but the etymology is not aligning with the usage we have today. Like the word literally
Right.
means by the word. You know, you can't say I literally died laughing because
Oh,
you
yeah.
didn't die because you obviously wrote that statement, and you could leave the word literally out and say I died laughing and have the same meaning.
Yeah.
So they have words that are skunked. You should not use them because how you use it may not be how the receiver receives it. You may be using it wrong, or they may be interpreting it wrong. You may be using it right, and interpret it wrong. There are other ones they call bleached. uh,
Bleached.
so-
Okay.
yeah. So there's these different terms. Very educational. I'm really enjoying Rob Words and his channel. He also had one about nautical etymology, phrases we use today, like three sheets to the wind. Uh, Contrary to popular belief, the sheet is not the sail; it's actually the line, the rope. Uh,
Oh, real. Oh,
it's
really?
it's titled in the show notes. What's poopy about a poop deck, and why is it called a poop deck? So there's
Yeah.
there's
Poop
there's
deck.
lots of interesting.
Poop deck doesn't. That sounds quite as appealing.
There's a video in here from Adam Savage on his Tested channel. He's talking to Mike and Denise Akuda about many of the graphics, good
Yes.
visuals and whatnot there. And then there's one called The Lost Map That Changed American Travel Forever. Kind of the story about Rand McNally and how they claim, this has not ever been validated or proven, how they claim to have come up with the original numbering system for highways. Because as people started traveling by vehicle, they needed to know where they were going. They were in the print business. Maps was not their first forte, but they
Right.
started printing maps and doing it faster. And they realized how to distribute them to the gas stations and whatnot. And that would help encourage tourism and travel and all this stuff. But they said, hey, if you want to know how to get from point A to point B, you're going to need some kind of reference. So they put, I forgot how it went. They put signs, or the people who had the gas stations and whatnot worked with Rand McNally to put signs on the road that says like this is Route 17, and it became the American highway system adopted that because they
Oh,
started it. Now
really?
that's the story, hasn't been proven, and somewhere there is this very first map. I think it was the highways around Peoria, Illinois, that nobody can find from 1917. Nobody can find it, and we're not sure if it doesn't exist, if it just hasn't been
It was.
discovered yet.
It was
Interesting
erased.
story.
It was erased from existence.
Time travel,
Yeah.
right. There was a
You know.
reason it didn't exist.
Yeah. There was a video I watched that was similar to what you're talking about a little bit. Not about the highway system, how it was created, but they were talking about the significance of the numbers and how to know which direction you're going.
Yes. The
And
odds and the evens and the East Coast and the West
yeah,
Coast. Yeah.
and some of that, of course, is common
Although there
sense.
are so many exceptions in there. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, there's a lot of common sense there. You go, oh, okay, I got it. And then you go, then they start talking about the exceptions. I went, okay, now I'm confused again.
Yep. Yep.
So,
But in general, you know that Interstate 10 runs east-west, and it's in the north part of the country. Interstate
mhm,
40 is in the south part.
yep,
Highway Interstate 5 is on the west coast. Interstate 205 is a spur of that, or a go around. So lots of interesting stuff.
yeah. There's a.
So,
I thought, I actually went looking for a video because I was like, I wonder if there's one that tells you the tips and tricks about the highway system, and that's where I kind of came across it.
you want to hack the highway system?
Yes, that's exactly what I want to do. Yeah, maybe.
Do you remember when you went on road trips with your parents and you got the paper map and you got to figure out what's the next town we're coming to? You learn map reading skills.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I
Actually,
I don't think that's a thing that kids can do anymore.
no. Well, when I was a kid, we're from South Carolina, we lived in Texas for a while, and we would make trips from Texas by car to South Carolina and
Mhm.
visit family. So there was a lot of map reading and stuff like that we would do um, with my family. It was kind of fun. But even in scouts, we were teaching map skills. So I wouldn't say kids are not exposed to it, but we were doing not just geocaching, but finding your path with a compass and a map,
Right.
and that was actually a lot of fun. It was a good refresher for even adults. I'll be honest with you, but it was a lot of fun, especially when we went to a competition one time where you had to find your way over to the one way point and to another and come back to the home point.
Yep.
That was really cool. Um, it was cool until one of the kids found a hole in the ground and was walking and went. Funk. It was like some heavy grass and there was
Yep.
a hole in the ground. That wasn't good, but it was most for the most part it was fun to do.
I will say
I mean,
Lisa's got a really good sense of direction. When we were on our European trip about 5, 6 years ago, she would just like glance at the map and go, "Okay, we're hotel's here, the Pantheon is there," and streets through Rome are not in a grid, not even close.
no,
But
no,
she would know how to get there. She's like, "This way, okay, turn here. There we go." Donna and I are holding the map. Going, are we looking at this right side up? But
yeah,
we weren't completely lost, but we needed a moment every once in a while. I go, let me get my bearings, figure out where we are. How close are we? Are we on course? Are we off course? And she just like keeps booking ahead. I know where I'm going.
yeah,
What?
yeah.
She's
Rome,
amazing.
yeah. Some of those, especially European places, is kind of confusing because they were built before there was like certain codes and plans,
Yeah.
or things were built organically over time, and it's like, what am I looking at here? Where am I at? And cut roads curve and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, you even see some of that in the older cities on the East Coast of the United States. It wasn't until we
Oh
started
yeah.
migrating west that it became more of a grid pattern.
I don't know about now, but Charlotte even had a road that crossed over itself, which was nice and confusing. Queens, I think it's Queens, uh, Queens Road. It was like, yeah, it would cross over itself. So you got to be careful with directions on that one.
All righty, that takes to the end of the show. We are as confused and lost as you are at this point, so we're going to leave you with
Yeah.
a question. What fictional universe would you feel at home in?
The
Now,
Flintstones.
this is different than the question we asked a while back of what fictional universe would you like to live in? Right? Didn't we ask one very similar to this once upon a time? This sounds
Okay,
familiar.
look, maybe I need to get you to help me make some questions up.
Are you asking ChatGPT again?
No, I'm
Oh,
not.
okay, I thought it was expiring its library. Like, I don't have any more questions
I
for you.
mean, I won't lie. I've used it a few times, but I try to. Most of all of the questions of the week are ones that either like Kyle gives us or something like that
Yep.
every once in a while, or I make it up. So you know, I blame Chuck because I never get suggestions from him.
I'll tell you some universes I don't want to live in.
Maybe that's a more interesting question.
What? Yeah. What fictional universe would you send somebody you don't like to?
The aliens universe. The, I want to hang out with Ripley. No,
No.
I,
Alrighty.
I would be comfortable in the Flintstones universe.
Thank you very much for that, Craig. We will get responses posted on social media and get back to you as soon as we do our next show, which I think is next week, the 18th. We'll be recording on the 18th. Sure, why
Yep,
not?
Dragon Con's coming up, but yep,
Yes, it is.
should
Hope
be.
to see you there in Atlanta, Georgia on Labor Day weekend. We'll be arriving mostly on Wednesday, the 28th. We've got a karaoke session on Thursday and Saturday. We've got our 2 live shows on Sunday. We got the parade on Saturday. Lots and lots of stuff. I know that many of the listeners of this show will be there. That means we don't have to put stamps on some of the postcards.
Right.
We
Yeah,
can hand deliver them.
hand it to him,
That's you, Gary, Joe, Leon,
Kyle.
Kyle. we got a few of them. Until then, let us know if you want to call the listener line 707-530-2428 or send us an email, technorama@chuckchat.com. We'd love to hear from you. Till next time, take care, be safe. Give us a binary high five, Craig.
101.
And the audio recording is done.
Thank gosh.
Phew. I can't hold my breath that long.
I know. Sorry, I had a car come up and they were asking me, is this 235 Doris Lisa? I'm like, no, it's not. It's the next house up. And then they backed out and went down the road the wrong way. I'm like, oh, they're going to come back. I just said it's the next house up.
Yeah. How does you can't fix stupid?
Oh, well.
My mini split is not kicking out the cold like I would expect. I got to check
Uh-oh.
and see if it's working.
And make sure it's oh, you handed me the remote.
I got it back. Okay, I got it back. Hold on a second. I just want to walk up and feel it. Maybe it's because I'm on the other end of the room.
While he's doing that, everybody, I'm going to sign off the stream. Good night. Bugs.